My name is Lisa.
And I'm Julian.
And this is the Pink and Blue Show. So we are talking today.
Like always.
Because I like talking.
That you do.
And he's appeasing me by being here because I would really like just a male perspective on some things.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're supposed to be talking about putting a ring on it.
Yeah.
Is a commitment harder for the man or for the woman?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
I think that is equally yoked, in my personal opinion. I think that commitment for anyone is a huge step, especially when you talk about putting a ring on it, because now you are committing yourself to the same person forever. And you don't know how they might change, and whether it be body type or emotional type, midlife crisis, you just don't know what the changes could be. So I think that commitment is hard, whether you're a girl or a boy. What do you think?
I agree. I also believe that if you come to that conclusion that you want to put a ring on a male or a female, then you've already made up in your mind that I'm in it for the commitment. I'm standing on the edge, I don't want to jump. You like, yo, I see the edge and I'm about to do a somersault off of it because I'm committed to it.
Right.
So it all depends on how that person perspective, how they look at it.
I think too, though, sometimes you feel like you're committed to it and you can do somersaults or backflips off of it, but sometimes you're just committed to the idea, the idea of the future that you're envisioning with said person. And I think it doesn't necessarily have to be a particular person. It could pretty much be anybody, because for people, like for me, I feel like you can have a relationship with anybody. A relationship is the same.
Anybody?
I feel like anybody.
Older? Younger?
I feel
like a lot older.
I feel like you can have a relationship with anybody. However, moral my values come into place, come into play. And so that may create some hesitancy for me, but I still believe that you can have a relationship with anybody. I think that's why arranged marriages worked for so long, because it takes some of that emotion out of it. And you just go into logic and reasoning, which is how can we work together as a team? Because at the end of the day, we have to achieve the same goal. So.
That is true. And once you voiced out or showed your actions that you're ready to commit by putting a ring on a male or a female, all that doubt and fear should be put to the waste. Like I said, it's hard for me to understand if you're gonna make this vow, this commitment, for you to back out.
Right. So I've been married twice before, and each time I feel like I've had I've been committed to the idea, to the long-term commitment of it all. However, you can commit yourself to someone and not know that individual, or they change, and it can change your willingness to commit to the situation or the relationship or the person.
Right, because you committed to not only just for the idea, like you said, you also committed to that person as you know them.
Right.
But now, as you said, as times change, they change. Now you may no longer be committed to that. That's scary, because you know that things change.
Right. And I mean, it's like, that's life, because life happens. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and they woo you, and then you get to know them, and they propose, and then you move in with that person and they become abusive, whether it be physical, mental, verbal, it doesn't matter. You just feel like a diminished version of yourself. Regardless the love that you have for that individual, you have to first commit to yourself before you can commit to anyone else. You have to love yourself first before you can love someone else. So even though you are committed, that commitment changes because you have to triage yourself first.
You believe that's the reason why couples renew their vows?
I think that if you're always, because any relationship is
yes or no would suffice.
Yes or no would suffice. I think, do I think that the reason couples renew their vow is because
of the change in commitments?
Of the change in the commitment. I want to say no. I think that couples renew their vow because they're reminded of the person they fell in love with. 1, 2, if you're planning positively, which is the vow renewal, then you're not planning for the divorce. I heard that on a reality show, but I think that is a true depiction, because if you're focusing on renewing the vows, you're focusing on working on the relationship. You're not focusing on the things that person does that leaves you feeling insufficient, right? Or feeling like comparing them to other people. You focus on that relationship.
I think we're saying the same thing, except in different ways. Because I was looking at the reason why I brought up that question, renewing the vows. For me is, this commitment that we agreed to,
okay,
I'm still gonna honor it. Even though things have changed,
right?
My commitment to you has grown more, or us going this way.
Got you.
So I'm not saying that for the divorce we're focusing or looking towards that. It's just straight reassessing and also reassuring the vows.
Got you. So are you saying that when you're committed no matter what? Is that your statement?
Yes and no. Yes, because that's the purpose of a commitment, to see it through. No is everyone has a limit.
Right.
Who stays in an abusive relationship?
Right.
Who stays in, like you said earlier, a verbal abuse or physical abuse relationship?
Right.
I mean, somebody has a limit.
Right.
So that's why I said no.
Okay. Yeah, because for me, I think that commitment changes. I think that it's just proven, whether you be pink or blue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that self-preservation will always supersede the commitment, and it should, because without you, there is no relationship. So.
You ever watch that movie Color Girls? 4 Color Girls?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.